Me? Okay. What's happening, guys? Welcome. It's another Tuesday late night happy hour, but we're taking it over. It's the AA meeting with me, Allie Burns, that guy, Alex Crawford, and you might have heard of the guy down there, Steve Cofield. How's it going, guys? Just like that.
It's going good. I got a new microphone, and so I'm excited to test that out.
It sounds like you're like broadcasting to a stadium, like that. You've got some reverb there. It's powerful. I like it.
That might be the room.
I would turn yourself up.
Okay, well, we're still working out the kinks over here. We're still working out the kinks.
It's not bad. Like, it's not annoying or bad,
Like my hands are free.
I want one of the Madonna kinds. Like I want a hand-free Madonna kind, but I think that's too much to have like a big thing in my area. But I could like do that way.
Yeah, we ended the show on a pretty fun note last time with the ayahuasca Native American church drug ceremony talk.
It's not a drug, it's medicine, plant medicine.
Sorry, I knew I was going to misstate something.
Just saying that. Well, do you want to carry on or?
No, I just wanted to point out that was that was exciting last week. That was something big that we ended on. So yeah,
it was a good talk. It resonated with me. I thought about it more and more. I felt bad for saying God and all that crap. That was disrespectful. So I'll take all that crap part of it back. That's the kind of the thing that was going over in my head. I was like, I shouldn't have said all that crap. That's just not cool. So
you've been living with guilt over the past week?
Not guilt, just maybe a little yeah, no, not guilt. Just I felt bad. Like I don't know. I just felt bad, I guess. I do have a pretty funny story of something that happened to me 2 days ago that has never happened to me before. So did I say area or aerial? I don't think I said either one. So check this out. Long week, right? March Madness, lots of crap going on. I'm busy. I'm exhausted. And I lay down on my couch, so excited to go to sleep, right? Because I'm sleeping on my couch right now. It's just this thing I'm doing. Because I need Dateline to fall asleep. I don't know what to say. It's a problem. So I lay down. I've got my blanket, my pillow, and my cat comes to jump up on the couch to sleep right here with me. And in that jump, he freaking pukes all over my neck, just in one jump. And my neck, my chin, my boobs, my blanket, everywhere. Projectile vomit from the cat all over me. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been puked on by a dog or cat before? I think it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me before.
Man, I don't think I've been directly puked. Definitely not by a cat. We talked about this with the guy's guy, man's man thing last week, but I'm not a cat person. Right. But with the dog, I can't say I've been puked on, but my parents' dog would always pee on the floor of my room, right where I'd wake up a lot and I'd just step and pee morning after morning. But not as bad as getting puked on. So I can't relate completely.
It blew my mind. And the funny thing is, as I was laying there, I was like, I'm going to tell the guys about this. Yeah, well, hey, look, we're opening up AJ Real LLC or LC. You can I was puked on.
I was puked on in college. I was puked on in college by a girl at a party.
Oh.
Did I tell that story on here? How does Brady know that? Was that just a guess? Because that actually happened. I don't know.
You just kind of have that look, No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember that story.
Brady guessed that? Oh, no, that really happened to me. Yeah, a girl fully puked all over me my freshman year of college.
Oh, that's rough. That is rough. You guessed it. That is funny. Yeah, see, you got that. Funny. You just got a face for it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, that really happened. And then another time, I puked on a girl that same year in college. So it kind of, the yin and the yang, the circle of life, just too much. I gave up, speaking of religion, for Lent, Lent, you give something up for 40 days.
Yeah.
You familiar? I don't know
Yeah.
if there's a Native American church equivalent, but
No, I have a stepmom who's Catholic and a stepdad who's Catholic. So
got it. Well, I gave up hard alcohol freshman year. I was like, this is going to be good. Like, this is going to cut back on some drinking. I've been drinking too much here. Got the freshman 15 a little bit. But then what I would do is I would just drink 40s. I would just get like 40s of Mickey's or OE. And then I just remember like going out with this girl. I drank like 3 40s of Old English, stomach not doing too hot. We're hooking up. And I just, I lose it. There's just too much movement going on with the Old English. And and so, yeah. Good guess, Brady. That was solid.
Good guess. Ugh, that's a little bit rough. Yeah, I've got some good puke stories. I remember Boone's Farm. Did you drink that in like high school? The old Boone's Farm?
I was more of a Mad Dog, MD 2020 guy. Right. But that's like the same kind of ballpark as Boone's Farm, right?
I mean, Boone's Farm's like a big bottle of cheap, like fake wine kind of a thing. And Mad Dog 2020 is a malt liquor. But it's both cheap shit that you drink when you're young. So yes, that will pass here. But yeah, did you continue hooking up? No, I remember puking that out of my nose. It's the only time I've ever puked out of my nose, and it was insane. And I can't drink Boone's Farm ever again. Part of this is a setup for this thing that Cofield showed us. Because that makes me want to puke. So if you want to start getting that ready, Cofield, I definitely, Purple Passion. I'm Mark and LV. Purple Passion is up there with Boone's Farm. I remember it's the Corey from the Office Bar. Him and me and our other friend Fritz all went to high school together, and we went to laser tag. And Purple Passion, remember, comes in those like 2-liter bottles, and it tastes just like grape soda, but it's got Everclear in it. And we go and play laser tag. Yeah, it's the biz.
I've never had it, but I've been wanting to have like a throwback. I'm wanting to just play the old hits one more time and get some 40s, get some Everclear. Get some MD 2020, some Mad Dog. I haven't dove into that catalog in a while, so I've been wanting to do that.
Right. Taking it back to the old school because you're an old fool who's so cool. So that was a little tag team for you.
I
know, yeah, but Purple Passion, I puked all over Ultrazone. I don't know if any of y'all remember Ultrazone. Mickey's 40s all the time. Mickey's had the little things on the cap. I remember that. Those were super cool for that.
In the Mickey's, the big mouth, in the grenades, then they had the little, it was, like it was symbols. Yeah, like a symbolic puzzle. Yeah, I've been really wanting to drink 40s. I just haven't made time for it because I know the next day is going to be like, I just got to clear the agenda completely. But I've been really having a hankering 50s. For some 40s.
50s. That's how I do it.
What are 50s?
Well, they're 25 ounces each. So I'm drinking
got it.
Yeah. Mine was always High Life. If I was going to get it, well, it was a 32 ounce in fairness. It was always High Life. But yeah, I puked Purple Passion all over Ultrazone and the Del Taco parking lot. So another one I can't ever drink again. Worked with a woman who puked in my new car and then wanted to start mugging it up with me. Ew. Why was she still in the car? You got to get out, girl.
Did we do a segment on here in the past talking about, I think we did, talking about what we could never drink again? Did we do a segment on that? We must have talked about, the one, because you brought up Boone's Farm.
Oh, there's a lot I can never drink again.
Yeah, no, I know it's not just one thing. I feel like we had that segment, so I won't bring it back. But when you said you can never have Boone's Farm again, I was like, what can I never have? And I wonder, I did, Old English, the high gravity, the higher percentage. That was what got me that one night, and I just haven't had it in so long. I bet I could go back to it.
See, Marcus Owens has it right. The High Life was 99 cents for the 32 ounce. And like when you were in high school, that was just the right price for a beer and just enough beer to give you a buzz there. Oh, that's rough stuff. I have a lot of good puke stories now that I think of it, but I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about how I puked on things all night. So we can move on. So Cofield, you showed us something, we were talking jungle juice last week. This is that jungle juice thing, but this kind of blew my mind. not only in like how they were setting it all up inefficiently, but also just the ingredients that were added in this.
I didn't get to answer any of the opening questions.
What were the opening questions?
Cofield, what can you never drink? Has a girl puked on you?
So I haven't had one of the cats piss on me, but there is one of them that has repeatedly pissed on the SO. I've never been puked on by a chick, but I nearly did get shat upon. And I can't drink. Speaking of that, I can't drink mudslides often.
Shat upon?
Wait, what happened?
No, wait.
Wait, now we're going back?
Which ironically kind of works with your mudslide intro, so or mudslide conclusion. Exactly. Well said, Brady.
Wait,
well said.
What happened?
Shat upon.
Shat upon.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I don't know.
What happened?
Can you tell this story, or is Twitch gonna?
That's a good point. Yeah, if I show a visual, then Twitch will ban us again.
Yeah, don't show it. You have.
I think we know what that looks like. Do you have a picture of this? Yeah. Wait a minute. I mean, I got an idea in my head here. One of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills pooped herself on last week's episode. Just throwing that out there.
How?
They're having like a camp out business thing, and one of the girls pays one of the guys at the like glamping place they're staying at to come at them with a chainsaw. So they're all around a campfire, and she's telling a scary story, and the dude comes up and chases them all off with his chainsaw, and the chick who's a doctor totally pooped on herself. It's not the first time a housewife has shat herself. Like it happens often. The Cleveland Steamer. There's a name for that? Steamers?
So let me talk about the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a cat who has some urinating problems, and she protests. But the last couple times she did it, she actually got on the SO and just started firing at her. So not a strong reaction from the SO. Actually, it was a very strong reaction. It was flip out time. So yeah, she's going a little crazy. The shat upon, I actually didn't get shat upon. Someone got very excited and kind of lost sphincter control. So, and it was just like a little squirt.
Wow.
But she was embarrassed.
Well, rightfully so.
Yeah. But she was having a good time.
Cameron Fletcher.
Yeah.
From the people who brought you the pee funnel, it's shat upon. That should have been the name of our show name. Our show's
shat
name.
upon.
Oh my gosh. That's
excited over what?
Is this like a sex thing, Cofield?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. No,
I won't get graphic.
Allie, no, it's not cool.
No, it's never okay. My kid, I always tell my kid that girls don't poop and girls don't fart. He does not believe me now that he's 10, but for many years he did. So
yeah, there's a fine line. You can get super excited and then kind of, lose your senses a little bit.
All right. Well, apparently I'm with the wrong dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Clearly, Cofield is a master.
She was embarrassed. She was embarrassed, but
Cofield is literally making women shit themselves because that's amazing.
It was only one time.
So. I'm just like, bow down.
Not like it happens all the time. Come on now. And what was the last question? Oh, the mudslide. Yeah, there. I've told them
guy thing right there. Actually,
that could be in a guy's. Well, actually, is that a toxic? Is that toxic though? Is that under the Adam Hill, Ari guy? Like it's an old school. Like bragging about your sexual exploits, huh? Yeah. Sounds like an old school guy. I guess you're racist and also you hate women too. Because by the way, Allie, I don't know if you wait. That was 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks ago we did guy or last week?
That was last week. Last week was a lot. We went from peyote to guy.
Allie, it felt like it was 2 weeks ago because we did a guy conversation on every Cofield and Company and every podcast the rest of the week. And like every dude on the show was beside themselves because they couldn't figure out what the parameters were. I was throwing new names at them. That was one of the best conversation starters we've had in years.
Well, you're welcome. And the reason why none of you guys can figure it out is because you're not girls. I told you it's not rules. There's not a this and a that. It's just a feeling that I get, that chicks get. It's just like you look at a guy and you're like, that's a man's man right there. Now, and this started over Drake and just like what he looked like. And Drake, I don't think is a guy's guy or a man's man.
No, he's not.
I was just thinking that he was a wispy thing. And then I was like, oh, you're kind of like a guy's guy. Like you do guy things, like not tap dance and pet cats, So that was just for you, Cofield.
It's like, what is it? It's like pornography. I can't define it, but I know what it is when I see it. Like there are certain things. Yeah. Like with me and the tiki drinks, it's like, hey, we know you're not a guy's guy.
Yeah,
okay, that's fair. No, and I admit that. There's certain with Cofield being like, I'm a cat guy. It's like, okay.
I have to make it up with girl shitting stories.
Yeah. No, you have to come on the podcast every night, and we have to hear about your sexual exploits. Of 20 years ago.
I wasn't saying.
Okay.
But I've never. I actually, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, I've never had someone puke on me, but that was one time where I was like, it's kind of interesting.
I also don't think it's like it makes you good or bad. Like I've dated guys that aren't guys or mans.
I think there are women who don't. There are probably women who like non-guys.
I took it back, John Carbelli. I took it back. Yeah, that's just it. I mean, I didn't mean it in a bad way, and I feel like you guys kind of spun it that like you have to be this or this to be in this category, and I didn't really mean it that way. I just meant. Some guys are this guy and some guys are that guy. And Drake, I thought was this guy, but he looks more like that guy. But at the end of the day, he's this guy,
But it's a quintessential thing to kind of question dudes on what they are and how they're perceived. Yeah.
I mean,
guys do have egos, and guys are concerned about the way they look and whatever they're. They can say, I don't care. Like everyone cares. Come on.
Let me tell you about this. Speaking of caring what we look like, and I can only talk about this like at so much for legal reasons, but I got offered a job.
Really?
Yeah. So I got offered a job for like, I'm not going to talk about money either. So I got offered this job from someone who should not offer me a job for like, like used to work for Picks and Parlays. It was kind of like a poaching situation.
Wait, recently?
Like.
We need to know
3 days ago.
We need. I
don't know what I'm legally allowed to say. Like I don't want to get anyone in trouble with things. But so someone who used to be
tonight, Alex, are you ready? We're gonna pick a career for Allie before she explains. Let's do it. Commit to this. Go ahead, explain it.
You're gonna pick a career for me. This is the same job. It's just leaving Picks and Parlays to go to a different job that does the same thing. That I would do the same thing. They would just pay me more, so they say, right?
All right. I say do it. That's it. Do it.
I'm not doing it. I've heard nothing but bad things about this person who's offered me a job. It's just lots of shady stuff. Even before I was at Picks and Parlays, he's got a name in the industry, and I just don't want anything to do with him. And I don't like the idea of poaching either. Like I'm not really a fan of that either.
Alex, 1 second. You entertain the group. All right.
What? Oh, they got to talk it over in the private room to make sure things are chill.
No, I thought we could actually do that, but I forgot you can't actually do that, so we couldn't go talk behind the scenes. I wanted.
Oh, you guys couldn't.
We can talk behind the scenes. I'll tell you guys after the show who it was. Anyway.
Wait. Is there a way to do this? I'm trying to figure this out. I feel like there's technology to do this.
I could text you. Oh my God, I could text you.
Yeah, text me the name. But keep going. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
So, he talked about me the next day on his show anyway, but he didn't use my name. So I can't multitask. You guys know that. Let me just finish this and I'll text it. Okay. So one of the people that works for him texts me and says, hey, you might be happy there, but you could be happier somewhere else. So I just screenshot that and send it to my boss. My boss then texts him and is like, dude, we had an agreement. You're not going to poach. This isn't cool. So then the owner of that company texts me and is like, blah, blah, blah. I don't appreciate the bullying, which was like so ridiculous because there was no bullying and all this stuff. And he writes me, this text is like this freaking long, right? And I'm like, hey, you guys, you're going to get me in trouble. So he's like, So he writes me this big thing, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Like 3 weeks ago, when I was doing my morning wood chat, a bunch of trolls from your company popped in and started saying, you guys are listening to this dumb blonde. She only picks favorites, but which is not true. I'm the freaking plus money honey dipshit. And blah, 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 going off at me. So, don't call me a bully when you guys are bullying me. Then he goes into this whole thing about you wear too much makeup, you're a clown, you're a moron, enjoy your life in poverty, going off on me. So I'm like the bigger person in it. I'm like, good luck, good luck with your life. I hope you're super successful. And then it all comes in 24 hours of texting from this guy. He's screenshotting me like analytics of how he gets more views than we get. He's screenshotting me. I picked up this girl from ESPN. I picked up this. I mean, 24 straight hours of him calling me names, but at the same time trying to get me to come work for him. And I'm telling him, like, I don't want to be with your bad energy. I'm not into it. And he's like, what bad energy? You're pathetic, blah, blah. I'm like, that bad energy, you fucking dick. So this was 24 hours of a 56-year-old man talking shit to me because I won't come to work for him.
Wow.
Not wager talk. Yeah, it was abuse. It was bullshit. Here's something the chat might be able to help with. I have 6 girls and me, so 7 girls that I've kind of met through handicapping on my site that were all in a group text. That was a clue. They were all in a group text together, and we all need a name. But I was sending them screenshots because a lot of them follow him in his pics. And I'm like, just so you know who this bitch really is, here you go. So they've all undone their business, but I do need a name for us 7 girls that bet on sports, and Chicks with Picks is out. So if anyone thinks of anything, throw it in there. It's not Vegas, Dave. Oh, he's totally a clown. And this is exactly why I'm not going to go work for him. My boss kicks ass, man. My boss kicks ass. He helps me. Oh, thank you, Casey Chief.
It's a 56-year-old who does a show on the market?
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel, and
so not a show on the market.
No, not like on television. No, it's not RJ Bout.
RJ.
I mean, I don't think you guys would even. Yeah, RJ Bout.
RJ would never do that.
I don't even know if you've heard of him because he's that big of a poop face.
Well, it sounds
Magnificent Seven. Why didn't I think of that? I love that.
You made the right decision.
Yeah. I agree.
Allie.
It was just so ridiculous to me that it would go on for so long. Like, I just said no, and then like the last time, like, hold on, now we got to get into it. But I can't show you my phone because then you're going to see his damn name.
Just text me. I'm not going to give it out, but just so we have a better understanding.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that's not really.
This is like my last text. This is Monday at 7 a.m. because this all started on Sunday at like 6 a.m, 7 a.m. I said, honestly, man, this is 24 hours you've been texting me now. I'm not coming to work for you. I don't know you. I don't know why you care what I think about you, but you obviously do. So please leave me alone and go have a great, successful career without me. Thank you for your time. I am over this conversation, like I said the last time we spoke. I mean, like, I feel like that's a professional way to end it. And then that's sad. You don't want to talk. So I'll finally respect that. But I don't respect anything else about you. You're spreading lies about me. It's just have fun in poverty with your $2,000 a month, which is not what I make. And I don't live in poverty, but this is how this dude freaking talks. And so, yeah.
So like Alex said, you made the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, right. He just confirmed
that
it.
Childish.
What a psycho. Like, what a psycho.
Brady says he went angry boyfriend. It was like 16-year-old girl. It's like mommy issues. Like, but my company does this and my company does that. And I built this and I make this money. And to me, it was like, you don't understand. It's not about money to me. It's about happiness, or like Sean Connery would say, happiness. But that's just it. It's not about money for me at all. I want to work for someone who I think respects me, who I can trust, who's not a complete asshat and does not speak to women that way. I mean, It was just too much. It was too much. And he's like, they don't want to pay female handicappers over there. I'm like, I don't want to be a professional handicapper. I want to be a professional host of things that deal with handicapping. You know, like, did you even ask me what job I wanted? I don't know. I could go off. Well, I am going off.
Keep going. No, that's,
it pissed me off a lot. It pissed me off a lot. 7 the hard way is great, especially for a show called Morningwood.
It just sounds, I mean, it's just like, you made the right choice. Like, what a weirdo. Why do people do that? I don't understand it.
What's to gain?
What's
to gain?
Psycho
and like
shit.
legally, if we're not allowed to talk, like legally, these two parties, Picks and Parlays and this other guy, are not allowed to talk trash about each other. But am I talking trash about him if I'm just telling you what he sent to me? I mean, like, if I can show you and read text, is that me talking trash about him? Or is that me telling you that he just talked a bunch of trash about me? You know, so that's like the legal blurry lines that I'm not sure.
Well, we'll have the 7 lawyers that contribute to our show in some form or fashion. We'll have them on a retainer, so they'll be ready to go. So all right,
I love it. Tell Justin I might need him. So
here's the thing, Alex. The world that Allie is in, and you are in the handicapping world. It is filled with,
and I am a handicapper.
Tons of psychos and insecure people, and overly competitive to the point where it's the jealousy shows through. They hate each other. They hate anyone above them. They hate anyone coming up the ranks. And there's like every day there's probably 50 new people who are like, I'm a professional handicapper and I'm going to sell my picks every day. It's being added to the group around the country. So it was always out of control. Now it's going to reach epic proportions. Yep. It's beyond obnoxious. So
I don't want. Craig offered me to sell picks. I don't want to sell. I only do basketball and baseball. I get paid per video. You know, like whether I sell a pick or not, I make a lump sum. I get paid, for videos. So the stress of, when you sell picks professionally, they put in 3 and you would buy those 3. And unless all 3 come in, the capper doesn't get paid. So it's like, I'm a host. I'm good at handicapping. I love to do it, but that's not what I want my job to be. I want to host things about handicapping. That's where I'm at. And if you would have ever bothered to ask me or, anything like that at all, then I would have just told him that. But,
How do you think the person treats their employee? How do you think the person treats their employees if they're going off on a prospective employee?
That's just it. Well, here's a clue for you too. If you know what channel on YouTube has all of Picks and Parlays old handicappers, that's who it is. So this guy is basically trying to poach us all over, and the weak ones go, the strong ones stay.
Here we go. Brady's on it. Brady will come up with someone within like 10 minutes. I'm sure he's
Brady is a prophet and an oracle.
I know. Brady's good. As much as I hate to say that because he's my rival, but that's not true. You're Ari's rival, really.
Well, I was going to say
you've toned it down for me.
You may have a rivalry with him, but the arch rival is Ari, and he loves the fact that he can go research something, find it in 18 seconds, and point out that Ari might take a little bit longer. Ari usually gets it eventually. All right, so you want to see this? This is. I
don't want to be that.
What's that?
Brady said, "You're not my rival, Allie. You don't want to be." I don't want to be that.
I don't want to be that.
I don't want to be that. I like you, Brady. You just don't like me. So that's cool. Neither does this asshole. So it's all good.
$1,000,000,000%. It's not Ted Savransky.
No, I don't even know.
As soon as we get the name, as soon as I see it, I'll be like, "Yep, that figures." All right, let's talk about getting schmackled.
Yes. Okay.
You guys know what that is? Have you ever seen
Not before I knew. Not before today.
Anyone in the room? Have you ever heard getting schmackled? I don't know.
Why is it called schmackled?
I have no idea. Let's do a search on that one. But the TikTok video was labeled "getting schmackled." So you got a crate of ice, and off we go.
I'm already into it.
College kids' binge drinking antics have become a viral business. The creators call it "I'm schmacked."
Schmacked, not schmackled. I'm getting
schmacked. All right.
So what do we got? Melons. You had strawberries, oranges, melons. Okay.
Getting schmacked.
Whoa, what is that? Is that some sort? What is that? Anyone tell? Are those
What are
gummy
you talking-
worms?
wait.
Gummy worms.
Yeah, those
yeah,
are
they're
gummy worms, 100%. Yeah.
Look like they're the sour
Yeah, I mean-
kind.
They're
Wait, is that
off
normal?
to a bad start with melon because everyone who knows anything about melon, you can't eat it with other stuff because it ferments in your stomach, and that's just a great way to poop on someone when you're trying to bang them later. Just telling you.
But that's a good thing.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. They're screwing up by putting melons in here.
Looks like pineapples. That's what Pickle Gamer's saying.
Yeah, that's pineapples. Yeah.
All right. I was Googling
Look over
some. I was
the
Googling schmacked.
The creators call it
Okay. Ooh, they have that. I have
There's
that
a
full.
potato. Are those potato chips on that plate?
No, that's pineapple. Pineapple.
Okay. I don't know why I can't recognize pineapple today.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what fruit that is.
Like, is this potato chip?
Back to the nacho table.
Yeah, right. Ooh, we can make a schmack
Alright,
table.
Sour. Okay, the sour worm. Traditional gummy bears. It looks like.
Well, Chris, it's called getting
Sour Patch. What is that?
Kids.
Kids.
Mhm.
Alex really knows this stuff.
No, it's candy. How do you not know this?
I'm not a candy person.
Guys, it's
Oh,
candy
well, there
and
it is.
fruit. It's like this is
It's cavity. Is
entry
what it
level.
is.
This looks delicious to me.
This is entry level.
It would, Tiki boy.
Out. Allie's out. Alex is like, I'm in.
Well, I have a huge problem with that they're making this on the floor because it can't stay on the floor because a bunch of drunk kids are going to trip over it and drown or, fall in it all night.
Drown
And two, drown it. Two, when you freaking try to pick it up, it's about to be filled with a bunch of liquor. So it's going to be super heavy, you ding dongs. Put it on a counter before you pour it all in there.
And that is a good point, to be honest.
Yeah, thanks. I swear.
Kids these days.
Kids these days, yeah.
All right, what do we got here?
Looks like Smirnoff Ice, Bacardi rum, Malibu rum.
What's on the right side with the handle?
It looks like a white rum, maybe. Rum usually because they're Bacardi. Well, it's 3 rums. I could get there.
Yeah, 3 rums.
Or a pop off, yeah.
Yeah, cheap vodka.
I think pop up. Well,
This looks delicious.
this looks like my kid's cereal or something like Fruit Loops or ugh.
Runts.
Blue curacao.
Oh God!
And then
I didn't go this far into the video.
Got Minute Maid lemonade, and then whatever this blue thing is on the bottom right.
Yeah, some kind of like a Gatorade or a fruit punch type.
I was
sort
going
of thing.
Hawaiian
Yeah,
Punch Blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
This looks awesome.
I think it looks really tasty, to be honest. Like, I think you'd get schmacked.
I think you're gonna get a lot of cool puke colors.
By the way,
Yeah.
what? Not to get pervy, but Allie, what is with the BBC over here?
The BBC,
Hold
what?
that up again. That is dwarfing you.
What?
Are you down? Are you down with BBC? Look, pick up that can again.
What? What about it?
Oh my god! I don't know that one angle. It was like it's freaking like 5'1" can.
It's bigger than my head.
Come on now.
It's as
Pervy
big as my
Steve.
foot.
Yep, here we go.
Pervy Steve has entered the chat.
By the way, I've seen that shot. Seen that shot before. Yeah, the BBC, the big blue can.
Oh, the big blue can. I've never heard that before in my life.
Type in
Oh.
BBC right now. See what comes up.
I feel like it's going to be the British Broadcasting Network. Or whatever.
I am so curious now. I want to find more schmacked videos.
That's the end?
Yeah, that was it. We don't get to see it.
Wow, that was anticlimactic.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm interested in the schmacking.
do you? How long do you let that sit for? You just start. You just start on. You just go off on it. What do you do? How long do you let it sit?
Oh, I'm sure they tap right into that. You let it sit till the sorority girls get there.
There's got to be more to that. It doesn't look like there's that much liquid.
Find a new one. That looked more like you could like eat it like a cereal. Like the food to drink ratio there was too even
Almost
for
healthy.
it to be.
I agree.
So
Yes, anti-schmacked.
I love that. Well done, sir.
That was good.
I think there's so many things wrong with that. But I mean, I get it because I was in college forever. And if I was 20, I would have been all for that and thought it was brilliant. But yeah, puke the rainbow. But no.
I want to try it because, well, we know my affinity for tiki drinks, and that flirts with that. But also, I like the
Yeah.
idea. I like the candy. I like the gummy worms and the Sour Patch Kids with the rum. And I think it could actually, in the world of jungle juices, I think it could actually be pretty tasty.
I think it's unnecessary, and sugary drinks give you a worse hangover. So to me, that's kind of where I go. Like sugar drink, bad hangover, and now we're adding goddamn gummy worms to this that actually have sugar. On them. So that kind of throws you off. But you remind me, when I lived in England, there was a bar in London called the Hot Box. And their whole entire menu, you could only get shots, and they were like smaller shots, and they were all flavored like different candies and just spot on. Skittles, Starburst, gummy worms, any kind of candy you could think of. And it was kind of like Willy Wonka and the Liquor Factory. It was freaking awesome. And yeah, and they were little, so you could try a bunch of them, like you weren't getting shit tanked after two. They made it to where it was more of like a tasting menu, but tasting bar, but it was very cool. So I don't mind a candy flavored drink, but I don't need that business. I don't.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't drink like, espresso martinis or mudslides or anything that actually has chocolate or candy or things like that. But I have reached an age where I'm starting to feel like all my hangovers are just bad. So I don't know if it really matters if I get schmacked or if I have red wine. I just feel like I cross a certain threshold and it's painful no matter what. So I might as well get schmacked,
That's true. No, it's not Jim. Jim Feist is a friend of mine. I'm friends with Jim Feist. Nope, it's not Dan. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Jim, I turned down the Aviators. I'm sorry. I'll miss you so much, though. I don't have time to do baseball this year.
For what? What'd you turn down?
For my job, for Picks and Parlay. I mean, I film at 10, at 3, and at 6, and I live alone now, so I don't have a babysitter. So, like, for me to even try to plan around that schedule, that's 5 days a week, 10, 3, and 6, or 10, 5, and 6. We don't have to go into it. Mondays I'm off, and then Saturdays I have a morning show and I just watch basketball. That's like a work day. So I don't have time to. It's not that I don't have time. I don't have the schedule to be able to schedule it, and I don't have a babysitter here anymore, so it wouldn't work out. But it's really, really sad because that was one of my top 2 favorite jobs ever. Top 3 would be UNLV, the Aviators, and Picks and Parlays. Greatest jobs ever. So I'm sorry, Jim, and I will miss you, but I'm sure I'll see you again.
Who are the Aviators?
They are the Oakland Athletics Farm League, and I did their statistics. And Jim, that's a match. Was my boss, and I just had to turn them down last week. So I'm just getting job offers left and right. All right,
Sounds
just
like
coming
it.
up like Neo in the Matrix here. Like, I'm happy where I'm at.
I need to get out to Vegas. Sounds like the land of opportunity.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I know a few people if you need a gig. I'm just saying.
Well, what kind of gig?
Well, what kind of gig are you looking for? Jim Gemma is who's announcing stuff for the Aviators this season. See, just like this, I can talk to a guy. Find out.
Yeah, you got a guy? Yeah, talk to a guy for me.
Well, I'm just saying. Nonetheless.
I got my hands full with high school water polo right now, so
well, that's
a little more wholesome than the Sin City sports scene.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you're ready for us, Alex. I don't know if you're ready for us yet.
The one time I come out to Vegas, I'm sucking down corn cobs, doing God knows what.
That's right.
I don't know if I can handle Vegas.
Your corn cob, dude.
Yeah, I'm sucking down
that's like
older
so
men's corn
amateur.
cobs. I know.
Amateur. Well, next time you come to Vegas, I'll give you a crash course. It'll be cool. We'll start you light. with some Boone's Farm or something.
I actually don't know if I could handle living in Vegas, the temptation. I'm good. I'm on the straight and narrow, but I'd be tempted to. You'd probably I'd get used to it. I'm sure everybody like you guys are just you adapt. But every time I go to Vegas, I'm just such a tourist. I get so fucked up every time I go to Sin City.
Do I know you, Marcus? Do I know you personally? Because now I feel like I should know you personally. Yeah, Dick Calvert was our. He wasn't the announcer at the Aviators, but he's an announcer at UNLV. But he works in the press box at the Aviators, doing not what I do stats, but something else stats. I don't know. He's in a different. He's like my seat's here, and then he's 4 seats down. So I don't know what happens 4 seats down. Okay, it's too much. But I love Dick Calvert. He's a legend.
Well, I hope he's okay. I know he was sick with COVID, so. But he's been out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been out for the whole year, a whole season. I guess he took off the whole season. So Chet's been doing it.
Oh, Chet Buchanan. I like Chet. Yeah, I think we do too, Marcus.
Yeah,
right.
Brady gave up. Brady already gave up.
Yeah, that's why I import them. We had this talk like during my breakup time. We're just like, no, I'm not looking for anyone else. Still haven't found anyone else. Like, still, no, I'm good. Oh, good. Dick's health is improving. Yeah, it's tough to find a dude in Vegas. It's not like LA where you just have like a bunch of hot chicks running around all the time, drinking smoothies and freaking spin classing. Like dudes in Vegas are not the equivalent to spin class girls. Trust that.
Yeah. The Whole Foods by my house is just
jamming. That's like the mecca. That's the freaking mecca for hot chicks is goddamn Whole Foods after a yoga class. You got to get in where you fit in, man.
The Silver Lake Whole Foods is almost intimidating. Like if I go in there in workout clothes and I'm kind of, out of it, or if I go in there hungover, I'm just like, oh fuck, like I shouldn't have gone in here today.
So do you use that? Do you like if you're looking for a date or like do you use Whole Foods as a spot to pick up chicks? Yeah.
I think in this current era with COVID and just in general, I feel like picking up women at the supermarket is a little taboo right now. Maybe that will change in the summer months. But right now, no, I don't pick up ladies at Whole Foods, but I certainly would like to strategize how I could do that because there's a lot of babes at the Whole Foods by my house.
Maybe you should like get one of those jobs being a sample dude. Like, would you like to sample
again,
this?
COVID.
Oh, you spilled. Let me get that for you.
They'd probably be like, sir, get the fuck out of here, please. You can't be serving open container food during COVID.
They're like, dude, we don't even sell Gatorade here. Kick rocks, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, you clearly don't work here. You're not an employee, and now you're under arrest.
Well, I might get a job there and do it, but yeah, I got you. That's funny. Do you watch the show? This grocery stores made me go here. Do any of y'all in the chat, do y'all watch the show Impractical Jokers?
I've seen it.
They do a lot of bits in grocery stores. The whole thing is that the 3 of them are in one guy's ear and they have to approach someone and say, hey, would you like to? There's some opener. And then right before they say it, they say something in their ear and it's like, lick my balls. It's not something like that. I don't know. That's just what came out of my head. But yeah, great show. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on at grocery stores. And I'm really surprised with what these guys actually get away with. Like taking things out of other people's carts. It's fantastic. I'm in love with all 4 of them. I don't even have a favorite one. It was Sal. Then it was Murr. Then it was Sal. But yeah, they're so freaking funny. Love her. Yeah. My kid really likes it too. It's like kid friendly also most of the time. So yeah, that and BattleBots. If anyone knows a place where that's hanging lines on BattleBots, I need to know about it. I Googled this 2 days ago. My kid is so effing good at picking BattleBots to win. Where can I bet on this for fuck's sake? Like, where can I bet on this? It's making me insane.
I feel like they don't I feel like BattleBots isn't broadcast live though. So like it's taped. So there's, you might need to go to BattleBots live.
Right. Maybe
And then-
that's why they don't hang lines, because I have Googled this several times. That's how serious I am about it.
You're like, where
Um,
the
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just say where the fuck can I bet on BattleBots? But yeah.
Yeah, like please, could I? Joe is my new favorite right now, and Q has never really been in my mix, especially since he cut his hair. I'm not that into it. But I mean, it's such a I would think, Alex, that you would be into it just because you kind of have that like college frat guy mentality. And these guys are definitely in their late 40s. And I don't mean that as a bad thing in any way.
No, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take
Young,
it.
fun. Yeah, young, fun, pranky kind of stuff, having fun with your buddies. So I just love to study it as like a sociological thing, as a psychological thing, just like observing men in the wild, in their natural habitat, just fucking with each other, just really trying to bust some nuts. Hysterical to me. Gotta be an offshore book there. I would think so too. I remember like Survivor. They were hanging lines on Survivor and stuff way back in the day. Maybe my kid, they're all just reruns and he's seen them before. And that's why I think he's so good. I don't think that's it though.
I
can't
think
keep
I
a
would
secret
like
for
that.
anything.
I like shows like that where they like fuck with people and trick people. I think I'd like it.
But the thing is that they're not fucking with people. They're fucking with each other. It's like the four of them just going out into the regular world. And, like they've got tickets for a Broadway show, but they don't know what the show is called until they open the envelope. So they have to approach, people and be like, hey, I got free tickets to a Broadway show. Could you take them? And they'll be like, what show is it? And then they open the thing and
then
it's
it says something.
Samuel Jackson, something on I don't know. It's like something just random and ridiculous. And, they got to try to give the tickets away. And then there's
good.
an up and a down and they get scored at the end. And then whoever doesn't do as many of the jokes has to do some like wicked super prank. Like when Joe was washing cars in a bikini. Cofield, do you watch Impractical Jokers? You're quiet down there. It seems like something you would dig.
No stairs. That's been
No,
a reality for families who live in
no.
the small
This is
parking lot.
exactly why you're not a guy's guy.
No,
Guys watch Impractical Jokers.
I know. I lose my my guys privilege. I don't watch it. I'm sorry. I was trying to queue up a video for you guys. So why don't we close by doing our own version of Total Chaos and hit a bunch of topics here real quick? Is that cool with you?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in your Total Chaos. We're going Total Chaos at the end of this podcast.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my context clues here. Total Chaos is a segment Allie does with just a lot of picks and topics.
No, so it's a show I created, and actually they all knew about it in my first day of doing it. You're done here, Crawford.
No, I'm not. I'm back. Hold on. I have such a shitty webcam. I hit my table out of frustration and it unplugged my webcam. Hold on. I'm here. All right. I'll be right. I'll be right back. I'm here. I'll be right back.
Holy shit. This is awesome.
Yeah, the one where that's a good, they use each other's sisters against each other. That's also a really funny, they are just so, yeah, he's totally pulling a Tobin. Tubin. There it is. I didn't really know his name either.
Should we just
the jack off guy?
Welcome back to the Jack Off Hour. This is DJ Easydick.
There we go. Man,
Ooh.
did you guys see that Malcolm Gladwell tried to defend?
Hands up, Alex. Hands up. All right.
Did you see that? You guys know Malcolm Gladwell? Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author, writer. He wrote 10,000. The Outliers, Blink, David and Goliath.
What did he try to defend?
He's just like a social. I don't know what you'd call him, social scientist of sorts.
I read David and Goliath, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah,
but he tried to defend Tubin, and he was just saying basically he was just trying to say he shouldn't have been fired for that, and that it's not. It wasn't what he think he's the New York. Was it the New Yorker that he was fired from? Was it on a company call with the New Yorker? I think Gladwell said the New Yorker shouldn't try to legislate whether or not he's allowed to masturbate. And everyone was like, yeah, but he was masturbating at work on a Zoom call. And Gladwell just defended him and said he shouldn't have been fired for that and that it wasn't the company's place. And I was like, wow, I think like if I did that on Cofield and Company, Cofield would say, "Hey man, you can't come on the show anymore, ever."
I want to
again."
legislate how much you jerk off and when you jerk off.
I
I would be overbearing, overreaching, just like the New Yorker. Yes, I'm very picky. There is no one on these podcasts except for one person is allowed to masturbate on camera. Okay.
Is it you? Is it me? Well, you're the boss. Well, I'm not gonna. So chill out, chat before you even get going. So, and if I did, I'd be an adult and I'd like cut a hole in my pocket. You know, I wouldn't have my clam out. I wouldn't just like jam out with my clam out or anything. You know, tune in Tokyo.
That's good.
Can I use that on terrestrial? Because I've never heard that before.
That's amazing.
I don't know. What did I say?
I think I've tried to get away with flick a couple of times on the air. That maybe she was flicking, but
flicking off,
jamming out with her clam out.
Yeah, you hang out with your wang out, or you jam out with your clam out. Yeah, I thought you meant the hole in the pocket part. Yeah, absolutely, jam out with your clam out all day.
I gotta think about this one. I try to not run out of control with the FCC. Jamming out with the clam out is that's interesting.
That's completely legal. Hang out with your wang out.
I know we've been a little naughty on tonight's pod, kind of some sexual themes, but I did have a girl like text me.
What's that buzzing sound?
No.
Now here's the thing, right? Because I don't really want to go down this path, but I'm going to go down it for a second. This makes me think of Governor Cuomo.
Remember my Matt Lauer shit? How heartbroken I was? It's the same thing. This is Matt Lauer 2.0 for me. Like,
do I believe that Andrew Cuomo is absolutely capable of being creepy and making women feel uncomfortable and making weird remarks? Yes. But I don't know where to go with this one. It's a weird deal. Right? Look at your face right now. You're like, wow, what do we do?
I'm so sad. I'm just sad. Like,
you're a big Cuomo guy.
I loved Cuomo. I mean, I really did. He was, because like when Trump would come on for our like daily dumb shit briefing, I would call it story time with Unky Don, because it was just like such a shit show of information that we were going to get. And, we're in a pandemic. That was like, really when we're deep in the pandemic and we're just all bored out of our fucking minds. But Cuomo was like just that one voice of reason that I could get every day. Just someone out there still knows what the fuck is going on and cares about us. And like, that was Andrew Cuomo for me. And like, I'm Italian, like I related to him. I used to live in New York. My stepdad, I don't know. I connected with him. I love him. He's got daughters. He seems caring. He loves his mother. I love the banter between him and his brother. I know not everyone likes Cuomo, but you know what? I am a Cuomo sexual, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
I do believe he's being accused of lying about COVID data to make New York look better. Isn't that?
Nursing home stuff. Yeah.
I mean, unrelated.
No, we don't care about them. So
unrelated to this, but not good timing. When you've got 6 women claiming sexual misconduct and you were trying to phony down your numbers about old people dying from COVID, not a good time for the head Cuomo sexual.
I just haven't met anyone that's still like, Cuomo's my guy. I'm like, okay, hey, if that's
I loved
the hill you
him.
want to
But I also haven't heard from him in a while too, but I don't care. I'll stand by it. I loved Cuomo during that. I never met him before, never met him. Like, I never knew who Andrew fucking Cuomo was until the pandemic. And there was like a big section there where I loved him. And then he kind of went off the air and I never heard from him again. And that was fine. So, I mean, that was my Cuomo relationship. And now this is the next thing I'm kind of hearing all these months later. So I don't know. I mean, it was what it was. And I was really sad to hear it. It was like Matt Lauer all over. Cuomo's a man's man. He's not a guy's guy. He's a man's man. All right.
I think
if you're a paisan from New York, you got to be a man's man.
I think Cuomo would fall under the guy's guy heading that was laid out there by Ari and Adam.
All right, then he can be a guy's guy.
Yeah.
I don't mind, like, you asked me about Tiger. If I didn't care about Tiger getting in a crash because of his infidelities with his wife, I don't care about that. Like, I'm a Kennedy girl. Kennedys were like always my thing. John F. Kennedy's my dude in the whole world. My house is surrounded by Kennedys. I have a bust, and I mean, just surrounded by it. Yeah, it's fine. They all are, sweetheart. They all are. That's just it, you know? But I don't know, infidelity and that kind of stuff. I guess it just doesn't surprise me. Like, I don't hold it against you. I guess I think it's something that men do because I've made it. No, I can never be as good as Chrissy. I loved Chrissy.
Oh, wait, who was the other creepy guy that Allie defended on here that we had to mansplain her out of? Or at least Cofield had to mansplain her out of.
I don't think we mansplained her out of anything. That was the whole point. She was like,
who was it?
I don't remember.
Oh, it was the guy sending dick pics. It was the GM of the Mets sending dick pics.
I don't like him. No.
And Allie's like, you know what? It's part of the job.
Nope. And I thought about this. Actually,
Allie's got a thing for
afterwards.
New York City pervs. That's the.
I'm not going to say that's not true, first of all. But second of all, I wasn't defending that guy. I do have a thing for East Coast guys. That's 110% true. But
somebody
nonetheless,
sent a dick pic.
I wasn't defending. I don't even know who he is. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. I never heard of him before. Who the frick cares about the Mets if you aren't a Mets fan anyway? But here, I thought about that whole conversation. And really what bothers me about it is that, and it goes back to, what was his name? Larry Nassar, the Michigan State gymnast doctor guy.
Where are we going with this?
Well, now I forgot the first person we were talking about.
That guy's like,
no, okay,
okay,
the dick pics. Okay, so here's what it was, right? Cofield, are you trying to hide? No, this was the situation. You were telling me that I should sympathize with this chick who got a dick pic 3 years ago from this guy. That's what you want me to sympathize with, that this is bad and shouldn't happen. Yes, I agree. This is bad and shouldn't happen. But 3 years later, I feel like there's a statute of limitations. And the reason why it bothers me and that you were trying to mansplain to me and I wasn't accepting of that is because I believe that in your life, certain things happen to you and you pick, am I going to be a grown-up or am I going to be a pussy? And that chick was a pussy. You know, all those chicks got abused by Larry Nassar until that one girl stood up. But all those chicks were given the opportunity to stand up. And the chick with the dick pic didn't until 3 years later. And I just think, you know, the argument was, well, what if you lost your job? Well, what if your purpose on the earth is not to write about foreign baseball? What if your purpose on the earth is to stop this man from sexually attacking all these other women? And you freaking clammed up. You didn't jam out with your clam out. You clammed up. You didn't do anything about it. And I think that makes you a bad person is all I'm saying. Not a bad person, but I think that is my thing on it is you had an opportunity to stand up for yourself and stand up for women and you didn't. So that's why I feel the way I do about it, you know. The end. Scene.
Well, I disagree, but
it's just the way, but she was an adult. She was an adult. It's different. No, those are girls. It's just how I feel. I don't know. It's just how I feel. I don't know what to tell you.
And I'm going on the record just saying I disagree.
Okay.
Well, you have to. You're a man. That's fine. I mean,
I don't have to. No, I don't have to. I don't have to. I am a man.
Fair enough.
I'm a man.
He's a bum.
I do disagree.
Well, it is what it is. I get it, but that's the whole freaking point is the shame and embarrassment part of it. I don't know. I just have my own feelings about it. Again, what I was saying the first time was if something effed up happens to you, and you don't think it's cool, then you stand up and you speak about it then. 3 years later is not what's up. And I don't know. It's just how I feel.
It's a discussion to be had. By the way, not all women agree with each other, so
Yeah. The
we
girls
often-
are different. I don't mean the girls. So I apologize for saying that. I didn't mean it that way. I'm more thinking of this woman, like, yes, I understand small girls are afraid and all this stuff. But what I'm saying, well, what if they threaten me? What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? You're going to end my career? I don't know. That was the point, was that you were saying, well, but if you did speak up, then someone could end your career. And to me, I'm like, give a fuck about my career. I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to get a new career standing up for other chicks that were afraid to speak up, because maybe that is what your life's purpose is. Maybe your life's purpose isn't to report baseball. Maybe you're supposed to, more than a career, a life's purpose. I'm just saying. I don't know. We can move on. I don't need to woman-splain this. No one's going to, no one sees my perspective.
No,
Maybe I'm just totally wrong and I'm an asshole, but
I see some of your perspective. And I think these are things that we need to discuss and try to get to nuanced points, and it's fine. I absolutely think it's worth a discussion. I'm, every week that we see, and we get certain weeks where there's a run of dudes who get outed. I won't say canceled, but get outed. And, I'm trying to look at each one of them and go, hey, what did he do wrong? How many guys are doing this or have done this? We were talking last night about the former LSU coach, and now he's former Kansas coach, Les Miles. And, I threw it out to Adam Hill last night. I'm like, I don't know, 40 and up. I could see a lot of the stuff that, now, that women are saying, hey, they really bothered me. I could see a good 10-15% of the male workforce being lopped off, because I think a lot of guys have done it over the years and maybe didn't understand that some of that stuff was really annoying women, really making them feel uncomfortable. So I think we have to discuss it. Otherwise, are we really going to make progress? Or I could just see guys digging in and getting really, pissed off about it.
I think too, the difference is that, and I don't even want to say the difference, but I get that you guys are coming at it from a perspective. Thank you, Martini Maker, and thank you, Marcus. From the perspective of men need to stop doing this, and I'm coming at it from the perspective of, this is what men do. Women need to stop allowing this. So I think it's like the same argument, but it's two different perspectives. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there too.
I'm not saying you're wrong, because honestly, the SO comes at me a lot of times in these discussions. I'm like, I hadn't thought of that. She's probably closer to you than she is some other women. So, and Chrissy was the same way. People are, that was a compliment, actually. Or it was actually a comparison where they were saying Allie's the new Chrissy. Chrissy used to go against the grain. We'd be doing our, clutching our pearls over stuff and thinking we're backing women. And Chrissy's like, stop doing that. I don't agree. I'm like, okay, well, that's your perspective. I'm not going to get mad at you.
Yeah, because I think it stops when women stand up. It's not like us waiting for men to stop something that they do. It's us saying, oh, you're going to stop this right fucking now. This is going to end right now. So it's just, I got to pee. I'm all worked up. I need a drag of a cigarette. I gotta make sure my eyelashes still glued on. I have pit stains on my Flint shirt. I gotta change my shirt. I'm all worked up right now. Look, I got a sick Flint General shirt.
What is that? That's cool.
It's a hockey team.
Sick.
I know. I was really excited.
It's a cool shirt. I noticed it. I was like, that's a cool shirt. I wonder what
now I have to change it because it's all sweaty and also have to pee. Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you for listening to me rant. I'll mute myself on my way out.
So we don't hear the pee and
Damn. This right here, I completely disagree with. So the longer people wait, the less believable something becomes. That's wrong. Sorry, man. You're entitled to your opinion, but I think you're wrong. So for lots of people who feel like they've been violated, it takes a long time to come to grips with it and deal with the shame and potentially the lashback or the backlash, I guess, right? These women coming out after Cuomo, everyone is not like, fuck you, Cuomo. People are going after the women. That's not an easy thing to face. And sometimes it takes 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. There are guys all over the world who were freaking completely ashamed of coming out against the Catholic Church. Just because you come out with the news that, hey, when I was, 12 and I'm now 56, this is what a priest did to me. It doesn't make it less believable. So they're not easy circumstances to report on. So let me play a video here. We'll lighten it up a little bit. I asked you guys via text before the show, like, what's the worst rental situation you've ever had? I got to read about this story in Vegas, and now that I'm seeing the image, this is fucking absurd. And I would hope, and we're definitely doing this with Justin Watkins because he's great on this stuff, and I think people need to hear this on terrestrial. A lot of our listeners, if you're, whether it's renting a house or especially an apartment, right? If you're living somewhere and they are treating you like absolute shit, you have rights. Like, Alex, have you had a really bad rental experience where you're like, these people will not listen to me? This is substandard. I'm paying for something and I'm getting fucked.
I've been pretty lucky, to be honest. I've been pretty lucky, so I don't have any horror stories. But one of my best friends up here in LA has a court date against his landlord in July, like filed a lawsuit, and it's going actually to court in July. So I'm going to go to the court and back him. Like, I forget what happened, but it had something to do with during a heat wave. It had something to do with the AC was blowing heat, and it was just super miserable. And they didn't give him a security deposit back, even though he just got fucked financially. So he sued for he's like, hey, we can settle this. Just give us our security deposit back. And she said no. And so he got a lawyer, and now she's going to lose a lot of money, I think. Anyway, I actually love my landlord. I've got this old Lithuanian Polish guy who's great. I don't even pay rent on time. It's awesome.
Yeah. So watch this. I read about this one in Vegas. It's an apartment complex, and apparently the fucking stairs to the second level got jacked up. So people were without stairs to get to their apartment for 14 days.
God.
They were using a fucking ladder. And like this is somehow acceptable. And finally they brought it to whoever, authorities, or at least in one of the local channels to detail the story.
No stairs. That's been the reality for families who live at this small apartment complex near Washington and Owens. They tell Fox 5 that a crash stripped the stairs on Valentine's Day, leaving them in limbo for nearly a month. Video of that crash right there, and the stairs right on the front yard. Those who live on the second story now forced to get creative to climb up to the door. It's all been playing out on TikTok. As Fox 5's Joe Vigil tells us, a stair solution could be coming soon.
I mean, this is fucking
dude. That's horrible.
And by the way, now that I know, I may just go for my own jollies. Now that I know roughly where this place is and I've seen the picture, I may go down there and go through the entire process to get an apartment and be like, am I going to have fucking stairs at the end? And then just freaking throw everything off the deck. You people are insane. What is this? Al, you didn't get to see the beginning of the story, and I was asking about bad rental experiences. If you had a bad landlord or you were in an apartment complex that just sucked ass, watch this. This is at Washington and Owens here in town, and these people had their stairs destroyed, I guess, somehow back on February 9th.
No stairs. That's been the reality for families who live at this small apartment complex near Washington and Owens. They tell Fox 5 that a crash stripped the stairs on Valentine's Day, leaving them in limbo for nearly a month. Video of that crash right there, and the stairs right on the front yard. Those who live on the second story now forced to get creative to climb up to the door. It's all been playing out on TikTok. As Fox 5's Joe Vigil tells us, a stair solution could be coming soon.
Thanks, Fox 5.
It's been simply dubbed the apartment with no stairs, and the story is playing out on TikTok.
To their apartment, they use a ladder to get up there. Rumor has it that a car backed into it. Yep, they're still living in there.
A car rammed into the stairs is probably a better way to put it. Loud for the people downstairs.
I woke up with my wife screaming, oh my God, and
A big crash.
Now, the crash created a very odd scenario for David Goyes and his wife and two kids who have lived in the apartment for nearly.
This is insanity.
Two.
Also, they need a pirate roll down ladder. Like, that's not safe. You need like the roll down ladder, first of all.
2 kids.
It's
No
fucking
stairs.
Terrible.
So what's gonna happen? I mean,
Let's watch the rest.
we don't need no stinky stairs.
No more stairs. They had to improvise going up and down. The neighbor downstairs demonstrated in this TikTok video. Going up, people use the ladder and then put their foot in a chain to lift themselves over the railing. David Goyes explained what it's like going down.
Well, I have to climb over the railing first to get to the rope, the chain rope. Yeah, and then put my foot on the ladder. And it's very difficult because you have to stretch your legs.
This is like, is this real?
Dude.
This is insane.
And this poor guy, I'm sure this poor guy feels like he has no rights. Like, up and down on a fucking ladder. I weigh 500 pounds. I mean, fuck this.
We need a guillotine.
The best part is I'd be like, I want to move, and then I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of the apartment? Like, I would leave immediately, but then what do I have to do? Throw everything off now I've got to build some contraption to get all my stuff down.
And bend down to grab the chain, to put your foot in the chain, to guide yourself to the ladder.
And what was even more difficult was getting his 8-year-old son down for the first time a few days after the stairs were gone.
It was very difficult for my son.
Why are they climbing over the rail and not just going down where the stairs were?
Same way I came down and go up. And he was nervous and scared as any young child would.
Goyes says it's been frustrating because the property managers haven't communicated well about repairs. The family left for a hotel, and Goyes says he's been using his unemployment money to pay for the hotel, saying he was laid off a year ago as a cook due to COVID. But he says he has been told by management he will be reimbursed. Well, things may be looking up for the people who live here. We're told the folks down here said just today the management called and said they would be put up in a hotel while the repairs are made, but didn't know exactly when that would happen. We also reached out to management, but haven't heard back. Reporting at Washington and Las Vegas Boulevard, Joe V. Hill, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
That's ridiculous.
I get what you're saying, Brady, but honestly, like if there's a split there, you can still hold on to the rail and get to the, like, I don't see why you have to climb over the thing to get to the thing when there's no thing there and you could just bucket pulley system. Swiss Family Robinson taught us that. Wow, that is horrible. That is really effing horrible.
Yeah, I
mean, could we
so
do something? Can we like take up a pool or start a fund, or has anyone done anything like that in town?
I'm sure someone's going to. By the way, the property managers, when they say now that they've been outed, they're going to step up and pay for a hotel. Oh, you're paying for more than that. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
They're going to get their
talk about a quarantine.
And the people downstairs should get money. They all should get the fuck out of that place and bleed those mother effers dry. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm like kind of afraid of heights to the point where, like, with things like that, situations such as that, I get like sweaty palms even thinking about it. I'd be stuck inside. Like, it'd be really hard for me to leave.
Well, I just think like it's so easy for me to send the kid out and play, and like, like those kids have been stuck inside, and like as parents, you need your kids to go outside, man. Like you need that shit to happen, and I can't imagine like lowering Escher down in a bucket to like get him, go play and ring the bell when that's just ridiculous.
So what is this, Mark? You're saying, who is this? Someone's raising money for him?
That's where the video was from. The video was sourced from Miss Myersine 23.
Miss Mersane.
Allie, do you have any rental horror stories?
I don't, honestly. I don't know. I've lived a whole freaking lot of places too, but no, it's always been, yeah, I really have. But no, I've always had pretty decent rental accommodation. I've never owned a house, obviously. I've always rented. Yeah, no, I thought about this for, a good hour since we came up with the topic, and I really don't. So I'm lucky. Do you, Alex?
No, I don't have any. But I've always been lucky. I haven't lived as many places as you, nearly. I feel like every place we talk about, you're like, oh, yes. I have lived a lot of weird places.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. But
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
I've always rented from like individuals, like small, where I actually know the landlord and met them, and it's not a big rental property or some nameless, faceless entity. So I think that I'm only speaking from my experience. That's always been better. My worst thing actually was my first house in Portland after college. The landlord's husband had like a workshop in the basement where he would go work. And so if we had any kind of a party at all, he'd be there in the morning and he would like rat on us to his wife that we had a party. And so that like he was just yelling at us.
He's not ratting on you. He's telling his wife. Okay, first of all,
it felt like he was ratting on us.
Well, but he wasn't.
We were getting yelled at for having a party, and I'm like, okay, well,
he would get yelled at for not telling her. So I'm just saying.
Well, look at you. Okay, pro landlord Allie here.
Due diligence. No, pro husband wife honesty relationship.
We were 22. It was 7 a.m. the day after a party, and he's like, clean all these fucking beer cans up. I'm like, dude, like, give us an hour, man. You know? He was a weirdo. So anyway, that was my only bad experience. But just in general, knowing the landlord, it's always been better to me. I know landlords I like my current landlord. I know that's controversial these days. There's a lot of landlord hate. But my current landlord, he's an old Polish Lithuanian guy. He's cool. Chester, shout out.
With bad internet service. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for real. Cofield was trying to tell me I can sue my landlord for bad Wi-Fi.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that conversation.
I was kind of joking, but like I said, now that we're all lawyered up and we have like 7 attorneys that we mix in all our shows, I feel all powerful. Like I'm just going to lean on them and ask their advice. But
yeah, we can. Well, so my buddy who's suing his landlord, he went to USC. A lot of lawyer friends, the type, the SC type. And he goes, "Oh, my buddy, man, you'd love him. He loves to sue people. He sues people all the time. He's the greatest. He's the funniest guy." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, first of all, that sounds fucking terrible. I don't like that. Doesn't sound like a guy I'd like."
But you know what? Having someone like that in your back pocket is friggin' awesome.
Well, exactly, which is why my friend sued his landlord because his buddy's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, we're gonna sue the shit out of her." And now they have an actual court date, which I'm excited. Yep. I'm gonna put a suit on and go watch the carnival circus.
There are so many landlords, but especially these apartment complexes, especially these are with less fortunate people in them who know they can intimidate people, and folks don't know who to turn to. You know what I mean? So it's all about bullying and then trying to bust people's chops, and it's just a power play. And if you go back at them, they're gonna back down. And if they don't, let's go to fucking court. Let's go. Yes. Battle me on no fucking stairs.
Yeah.
I had 9 days and I'm bringing children up, putting them in danger, putting myself in danger, climbing up with a chain and a ladder. Get the fuck out of here. There's not a judge. I mean, there's some bad judges out there. There's not a judge in the country who's not going to side with the tenant in this case where there's no fucking stairs. And, give us some time. Fuck you. Move me to another apartment right now or put me up in a hotel.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, as the landlord, I would want to get this fixed as soon as possible because as soon as somebody gets hurt, now you're really going to be in for it. As soon as some kid breaks his leg or anybody falls off that thing, now you're really going to be in for it with medical bills. And I mean, now they can sue you for all kinds of stuff. So
I find on the whole bad landlord thing, like I've rented a lot of apartments around Vegas. I bounced around a bunch until I started renting houses, right? And I find that with landlords with houses, they are just fucking thrilled if you pay. Yeah. If you are simply reliable and you pay them the rent, I think I've had, 3-4 different landlords of houses. The one I will get down the road, so mark that down. I actually just thought about something and I'm going to go look them up. But the other 3, fuck them. The other 3, if they were so depressed when I said, "Hey, I'm leaving," because they were like, "What can we do? Please, what can we do?" And they actually, 2 of the 3 of it, like dropped the rent when I asked them to drop the rent because I was like, "Hey, sorry, situation changed. I was with 3 other people. They're out. 2 other people, they're out. This is what I can afford." I wasn't ridiculous. It wasn't like, "Hey, I'm paying $1,600, go down to $200." But they were just fired up just to get someone who paid on time.
Yeah. I have the rent. I can never move out of my house. Like I have the rent deal of the century. Like you'll never find this rent here. I live in like the homie house from the rave days. So a good friend of mine, his grandmother, my complex was like built in 76, right? So it's got this retro kind of like Wonder Yearsy kind of vibe with really wide streets and big trees. And then they're all like, they're like condos where like we share, there's a wall, but I have a backyard with a courtyard. Like I have a lemon tree and an orange tree and like a whole courtyard. But then we have walls and we're connected. So I guess the grandma planted the lemon tree and the orange tree. They're from Japan and they've owned this house forever. So like through my friend circle, at some point, almost all of them have lived here, because this house has been paid off years ago and they're just kind of making cash off of it kind of deal. And so I pay $850 a month for a 2-bedroom with a courtyard and a garage. And like, it's a really nice neighborhood. I mean, it's a crappy side of town, but it's a nice neighborhood. But like, how do you ever leave $850 a month for a 2-bedroom right now? Like, honestly, $850 is like a studio in Vegas right now. I've been here 7 years. Like I literally can never leave. I will never find a better deal than this. I need a husband to marry me and then I'll pay no rent. And like and I don't want to get married. So there's that too. So there's that. But yeah, like I'll never find a sicker deal. So you got dibs, Pickle Gamer? My brother wants dibs bad. But that's part of it too, is I think if I moved out that whoever else moved in, they would raise the rate. It's just a homie hookup. I've just got a homie hookup. And the killer thing is too, that they don't want me like calling anyone to fix anything because my friend it's the sister is the landlord and my friend is the brother. My friend is general contractor and a gal's gal. But he's a general contractor. So anytime anything breaks, like they don't want me to call anyone and do it. They're like, wait, we'll send him over and he'll fix it for you. So, I mean, it's such a cush deal. It's like it came with a husband, like someone just to call and be like, could you fix this? And then he comes over and he fixes it. And then I move on and it's done.
You're in. Good.
The
All right.
homie house from the rave days.
Yep. Homie house.
Yes. All right.
We got a good deal in college because we did the homie house, but it's college, so whatever. But I just know they never cleaned between tenants for like decades, so it was just, and our landlord was this old guy who'd always try to teach us life lessons, but we're like, man, can we just pay the rent? But he'd always like sit us down in his office and be like, boys, I don't remember the lesson, but he'd always try to like, he'd make us come to his office and like sit in there and like talk to us about shit. Anyway.
Kirk, do you mean that I can fix stuff, or I'm going to go get people?
The fixer.
Because I am getting to the age where I am going to go get people that I think of back and be like, 18 years ago, what you said to me, go fuck yourself.
You're like that guy. What was it, Waterboy?
No, Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. It's one of them. Yeah.
Cofield's kind of like the opposite.
Got my list.
Yeah. Well,
got my list.
Glad I called that guy.
No, I just what it was. I remember I rented from a lady over in Henderson. There were 4 of us in the house. This is probably when I was like late 20s. And I remember trying to get out of the lease because our company shut down. We were at Sports Fan Radio Network. Our company shut down. And then within like 3 months, like the other 3 guys were leaving. I'm like, I don't really want to pay for the house by myself when I'm in between jobs. And, I think I simply placed a call like, hey, can we break the lease a couple months early? And she comes over with her son and like tries to intimidate me. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just fucking pay and finish out the lease. But
well, that's how leases work, so I get that.
I'm a hoarder, so I have all my paperwork.
So that's what you were saying, Alex, that when they never cleaned between tenants. So when I moved into this house, it was bad. Like the homie that was living here before me,
from the raver days.
Wasn't good from the raver days. Huge hoarder. And so after, I cleaned I didn't even have to pay my first month of rent because I'm a cleaner and I'm a painter, like I do stuff in houses anyway. So I just did it and got it docked off my first month of rent. And then I knew it was done properly also. But through like these days of cleaning, I come across this book and it's called Overcoming overcoming obsessive hoarding. And like, for some reason, I was like, at least he knew, you know, like
He
there's
was trying
some
to get over it.
solace in it. Yeah. There was like some solace in that book. Like, all right, at least he knew.
Man, I'll tell you what, Las Vegas apartments, I'm on Zillow, are looking pretty inexpensive compared to Southern California right now.
Yeah, SoCal's real. I would never live in California. I did it in Riverside, which is like a cheap part of California, and it was I remember I paid $970 a month for that 2-bedroom apartment off Magnolia in Riverside. And then like I moved from there into this, which is $850 2-bedroom house. And I was like, whoa, I'll never live in California ever again. They say you pay for the weather, and I feel like that's true. But you also pay for the coffee, and that's ridiculous. So
Vegas has cheap coffee too.
Well, I just feel like when you're in, do you guys know that trick? I feel like people look at me like I'm dumb when I do that. If your camera's out of focus, do that and then touch your nose. Anyway. Casey is cheap, no money for the barbecue. But yeah, I lived in one of those college houses where like I lived in the basement, and then there was the next level, and though it was 5 boys upstairs, and me and my best girlfriend lived downstairs in the basement and shared a bedroom, and those 5 boys skateboarded everywhere they went in the house. Like if Chill was one of my roommates' names, obviously, because that's what they're named in college, but you know, Chill had the back bedroom, but the bathroom's over there. So if Chill has to pee, Chill is skateboarding to the bathroom on a hardwood floor right above my fucking head. And then every Thursday night or whatever was band practice. And like band practice is in the basement, and here's my door and here's the band, you know, and it was a lot of insanity. It really was. But it was Vancouver, Washington. And we lived on this big, like slope of a hill, and they would get on their 4-wheelers and trail one on a snowboard, and then build this like huge snow embankment right into our front yard. So they would cruise down this hill, hit this snow embankment, and like land right in our front yard. And this was like a freaking thing that they did. It was their fun time. They did it all the time. No one ever went through the front window, but that was probably like my crappiest living with other people experience. But nothing was wrong with the landlord there. And it was really entertaining. I'll say that too. Oh, I had food questions. I didn't realize what time it was. Never mind.
Let's put them on the docket for next week. All right.
All right.